We're back! And not only that, we've been joined by a special guest. Yes, we're back in Valheim, at least for a few days, as the countdown to Expedition 33 is well underway and is rapidly reaching 0. We'll see when they get there. We'll see. Is there any more surprises? I don't know. But getting back to Valheim was really nice, man. Really, really nice. Especially because we are... I don't know a lot about the game, right? That's the point. You let it we kind of let games teach us without, certainly from a stream perspective, without going into some sort of deep dive before we play, research it, what is the best armor, what should you be doing, what items are garbage, what should you focus on, blah, 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 and just kind of let the discovery happen, because that's a big part of gaming for me. And Jordan's into the same situation. Thumbs up, we'll just figure it out as we go and find problems, and hopefully then when you have a problem and a solution presents itself, you're like, oh, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. But last time we left off, to get you caught up, me and Jordan had reached the swamp and done a few dungeons, but found nothing to indicate where we go next. Like, where is the next boss? Should we head to the plains, which seems really dangerous? We kind of knew we were at the Iron Age. You know, getting iron gear is a good idea. We farmed a lot of iron in the dungeons we had, so we had lots of stockpiles of iron. Where do we go from here? But we knew we had more of the swamp to do, so we're going there. The game has pointed us to the swamp, so we're going to go there next. So we got started immediately. It was like, okay, we have all this iron that we need to smelt. We're going to smelt that up real rapidly. Keep that baby chunneling over to make iron and make some upgrades. So I made Jordan a brand new bow, the Iron Era bow, which he didn't like, actually. I haven't made one yet because of iron reserves. But the issue clearly is the newer bows take a lot more stamina to use. And Jordan hates the stamina system. It always annoys her. And this one breaks incredibly quickly. So she was like, I don't know, the older bow just feels better to use. It's got more longevity. It doesn't take as much stamina. I can just overall do higher damage. Until you get more levels in archery and bows, and then that eases off, so to speak. So she can also upgrade the bow. So we're looking into that. We've made her some iron armor. I decided to go around upgrading my iron axe. I way prefer melee. Big fan of melee. So I was like, I'm going to upgrade that and make that work. And we spent like the first hour chopping wood and getting reserves in. And Jordan built this wonderful sign over Scufftropolis that just says scuff out of beams. This was genius. It's way better than the in-game sort of Minecraft-y style signs with the writing on. So much better. And so we were all set then. We're like, we're going to tackle the swamp. And our journey began. At that point, the wonderful, the glorious, and our co-caster, Fat Boss Alex, was in the chat, and he's like, what are you guys up to? What are you doing? Like, this is... I was like, you can join if you want, Al. And he was like, what? And it was like, okay. So Alex has joined us, only temporarily. He's doing work outside of this. He's not a streamer anymore. So his job is not to be live and active. So he jumped in with us. We geared him up pretty quickly. He has played the game, I think, in like the 1.0 version or the 0.0 something version. He recalls, like, I don't even think there was a swamp in the game when I played. Like, he's not been any further. So we got quite lucky. He understood the basic fundamentals of the game, but he's not progressed past us in any way. So it worked out perfectly to have Alex involved. And obviously Alex is just a joy and a pleasure to be around. So really happy to have Alex in. So Alex joined us, we geared him up, and then it was time for our expedition to the swamp. Now we knew, and we pre-warned Alex, like, Alex... Every trip we've made into the swamp has been just a disaster from start to finish. Like, besides our very last one, it's been really, really bad. And he's like, okay, sure. And he's not got the best gear. As this was happening, we got attacked by a troll, so he got reintroduced to the combat very quickly as it smashed him in the face. But all three of us were... Jordan made us a ton of food. I made us a bunch of arrows and things, so we were all set. Out we go. We decided that we had been working along the coastline of the swamp that we were in, which had like a couple of dungeons. So we're going to go to the right and circle around that way. And in the distance, we spot this like giant altar with an enormous wraith above it. An enormous wraith. So we're like, okay, here's the wraith. And it aggroed onto me. So I was like, cool. I prefer being in melee range. The only issue I ever have with Valheim is the dodge roll. And so I'm working with this wraith and I'm kiting it around in circles until I hit a pool of water No, it wasn't even that. It was, again, the key binding. I need to remind myself before I play again today to find a way of changing the key binding for the dodge roll, because it's horrendous. If you're not sure what it is, it's hold the right mouse button and press spacebar, but you need to leave this, like, weird gap as you hold the right mouse button, then press space. If you do, like, right mouse button, then space, it will jump, which is infinitely worse. Like, beyond measure worse, because you time your roll to get the invincibility frames to roll through something, like Dark Souls style. But if you jump, not only do you just stay still, but it also drains all your stamina as well. So you are double screwed if this happens. And it happened to me, and I died. I was like, oh my god. But it was on, like, half health. I was like, maybe they can finish it off, because they were, like, shooting arrows at it while I was counting it around. Nope. Alex died, but Jordan heroically, like, Jordan, the story of today's Jordan hard carried so well. She kited not only the Wraith, but, like, so many Draugr in circles while me and Alex tried to get back to our corpse, and this Wraith was camping us. It, like, de-aggroed her at one point and went back to protect the altar. Another Wraith spawned. Then it turned nighttime. You got Valheimed. I hadn't been Valheimed now in a couple of weeks, so it came back to me so quickly of when you get Valheimed, and you're like, oh my god, this is hell. This is hell. It took another 20 minutes for us to resolve the situation, but we did. And interestingly, we were like, we can't get up to the platform that it's protecting. So we started knocking trees down to build some stairs, but the tree fell in such a way that you could walk up. So Alex goes on and is like, guys, I've got really bad news. There is nothing up here whatsoever. And I also noticed on the map, we were at the top edge of the swamp. So I was like, I don't think there's anything else in this swamp. And we were umming and ahhing about it. And we're like, there must be something else, right? The 2 dungeons aren't just going to be at the shore. There's got to be more. So we're looking into the area down to where we'd previously been. And I was like, my map's fully uncovered. I don't think there's anything else here. Which then led to the situation of like, is this just a bad swamp? It had dungeons, good amount of iron, but nothing indicating where we should go next. But we have had the experience with the Black Forest, the same thing, where we didn't even find a dungeon in one of the Black Forests. So it is possible to have a biome spawn that's just not a very good one. So we ran around for a while and we're like, no, let's call it. Let's get out of here. And that would be the end of original Scufftropolis. That camp is now abandoned and dead, which is fine. Just let it die. Let it die. Let it go. So we're totally fine with that. And we were like, we need to find another swamp. So I warped back and the guys took the boat back. We built the giant longship, which is cool. It's huge. Loads of storage, but, you know, it's unwieldy to turn, but it goes pretty fast. So we've got that situation sorted, and we're like, okay, where should we go next? And the guys, Alex and John, were like, I'm pretty sure we saw some swamps nearby. And I was like, actually, I could see one from New Scufftropolis. I could see one, like, across the bay that's right here. So I'm like, oh, cool. So we got in the boat again, restocked, and went off to the new swamp, which was near the mountain, which was just across our bay. And this is another weird swamp. It travels down the entire coastline, but it's very thin and nothing has spawned in there other than just the general enemies in the biome. So it's like, well, this swamp's no good either. Crud. What are we going to do? Like, we'll have to find yet another swamp. So Alex left us for a bit here. He had to go and do some work stuff. And off me and Jordan went on this, let's find another swamp. So we found one, but when we took the resources, the good thing about the longship is you can fill it with resources to set up a camp somewhere. So we set up a portal so that whenever we get where we are, we can set something up. And we found another swamp that looked promising. And we're like, okay, let's find a place to set up a shelter. And we've learned from our past mistakes of original Scufftropolis, don't build it right on the border of a vicious area. Like, original Scufftropolis is wedged in technically the meadows, which is the safest area. On the left of it is the swamp, and on the right of it is the plains. And we get, like, death skeetos and all sorts of stuff for the insta. It's a nightmare, that place. So, like, okay, what should we do here? Let's work up a little bit. And we went about, I don't know, like a minute up the coast, and there's a beautiful meadow. Like, an absolutely beautiful, safe, open area. I was like, right, we'll set up a camp here, built our portal. Let's go and check the swamp. Into the swamp we go, and sure enough, we found a dungeon. And Jordan squealed with delight, and I love it so much when she's like, yes! I was like, what? A runestone. We found the next boss. Bone Mass. Bone Mass appeared on our map, and it's so far away. We were like, oh god, that thing is miles and miles away. Holy crap. What are we going to do? We're like, I don't know. Let's get the rest of the iron. Let's get set, and we're going to find Bone Mass. But the interesting thing is along the way, we got set up to make this expedition. We got another portal ready. We dismantled the old portal because we're not going back there anymore. I'm like, right, we're off to find bone mass. Let's get it done. Thankfully, there was a waterway, or the ocean or whatever, traveled most of the way closest to bone mass, but still a long way on foot from where we could land. But it got a good, like, 50% of the way there. Set up a base so we can, you know, got like a jumping off point, found a safe place to do that, and then our journey was going to begin. But on the way, we were next to one of the quest objectives, the Smoldering Tomb. This is something that we'd had on our map for a while now, and a lot of the quest objectives we tried to see previously were in areas that were kind of inaccessible to us yet. So they were in like mountains and things like that, where we'd have to build frost potions, which we can do now, so that's a possibility to engage with. So let's check that out. And sure enough, inside, there's like mini-bosses. We had Brenna, the mini-boss, with actual mechanics, like slamming her sword into and causing fire into the floor and causing fire AoE. Simple mechanics, and could be parried, which was great, because we managed to bring Brenna down pretty effectively. Killed Brenna and got this magical chest, which says we need to turn it in somewhere, which will be to the quest giver, no doubt. So I was like, sick! Bench it. Put it in the boat. We're going to sort that out later on. We're carrying on to bone mass, which is when Alex returned. Alex came back. And we'd built a temple to Alex, like a little shrine, because he died when he had to go. So we built a little shrine to him and put his gear ready so he was ready to go when he come back. You like that? You come back, it's like, oh, a little shrine was ready to go. Got in and started to make the expedition to bone mass. I don't know how we're going to do this. Not only is there a mountain in the way, but it's surrounded by the plains, full of goblins and lozes, or loxes, which, like, seemingly one-shot you. And I was like, this is really bad. Like, I don't know how we get to bone mass. And that is where we're up to now, is how do we get there? Because we're not close. This is a lot of cross-land play we're going to have to do. And we're trying to strategize now. It's like, what are we going to do here? And I think what we have to do is bring a second portal with us and really sort of creep safely. Because there's Desquitos, there's goblins, there's these loxes, there's so much stuff in the plains, and there's mountains. So maybe we go across the mountains. We're like, do we go across the mountains themselves? Do we get the frost potions and go over the mountains? Or do we try and go through the plains as quickly as possible and hope there's like a black forest or a meadow on the other side? Do we get the boat and like circumnavigate the landmass? Maybe there's a better jumping off point that doesn't have this difficulty in front of us. I don't know, but like every time we play this game, you come out with like 40 things that you want to do. Like I want to go and turn in this chest. Maybe that gives us something awesome. Maybe doing the quest objectives gives you something that like makes you just much stronger. Do we go back to doing some swamps, getting a lot more iron armor and just really upgrading our armor level? Because we're using the troll hide armor now. It's fully upgraded, but it's still like low defense. The iron is considerably stronger, but slows you down. I haven't got many more weapons to build, but we can improve our defensives. Do we make better food? Because Jordan's been really on the case. But we can't grow things like raspberries and blueberries. We have to go and farm those. So many things to do. This game is just, with friends, it's so fun. It's so fun. You're always doing something. And when you've got multiple hands all working towards a goal, I actually felt useless for a period of time because Jordan was fermenting some stuff. I'm like, what should I do? And there's always something to do. It's like, what should I do? Should I go and maybe clear a dungeon, get some more iron? Should I try and set up some more portals? Should I label everything? Because we've now got so many portals that are going into all sorts of weird places. Like, we could do that too. Like, all these choices to make. And ultimately, I don't know where we go tomorrow. But the goal, I think we have, is to get to bone mass. This is going to be an expedition to get there. This is going to be a full journey. How we get there, I don't know. I'm going to discuss it. But next boss should fall. And I imagine it's going to point us to get something from the plains. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. That's going to be rough. But hopefully there's new resources there. Maybe. All right. Thank you. See you next time. Bye, guys.